fun stories about Ed, just some things you might be able to understand. And Ed, I have to admit, I enlisted the help of some of your family members to recall some great stories. Grandma was especially helpful. So, to start off, Evan has been a very social and outgoing person since his childhood. He began forming deep friendships at the age of 5 with some wonderful people that he still communicates with regularly. People by the names of C.S. Lewis, J.R. Tolkien, Jane Austen, among many others. All of you who know Ed know that he is inquisitive. He loves to learn. There were many Sundays, and some of you will remember, where Mom went home in one car, Dad went home in the other car, and as we're sitting around the family table for lunch, we say, "Where's Ed?" And I remember that Peaches at one point brought him back, other times we had to go back for him, and Evan was sitting in Sunday school next to the bookshelf reading, and he just couldn't be bothered. He loved reading. The most trouble Evan ever got in, I think he would agree with me on this, is we had someone staying with us who had a collection of comic books, and she would loan us one per week. Now, if any of you know what speed Evan reads at, one per week is pretty pathetic. So at one point, Evan snuck into her apartment and was found inside a closet reading through all of her comic books. And this love for learning led to a passion for justice and truth. Many of you have had the privilege of playing board games with Evan. And we were always compared, the two brothers, to a lawyer and a politician. Because I would garner the popular vote to change one rule that I didn't like. And Evan would say, the rules are the rules, and the rule book says this, so this is how we're playing. And I think he's going to be a great lawyer. When he was 4 years old, this was a story shared by Grandma. Apparently, there were some testings of his will with his parents. And at one point, Dad said to Evan, just say this, I don't know everything. And Ev's little 4-year-old Ev says, okay, Dad, you don't know everything. But Ev is not just intelligent. He combines that intelligence with an excellent work ethic and a passion for excellence, using his talents now for the glory of God since he's been saved. Many of you know that Ev won, not just once, but twice, the national South African session of the World Robot Olympiad, and once was able to go to Jakarta, Indonesia to compete internationally for robotics. He also scored within at least the top 4% on his SAT at the age of 16. I'm sure you'll help me be more exact there. He just exemplifies Ecclesiastes 9:10. Whatever your hand finds to do, do it with all your might. Evan, you love truth, and you have a brilliant mind for discerning what's right. You use your vast supply of talents wisely and pursue excellence in everything you do. And Taryn, you share Evan's love for truth. This is one of the first things that brought the two of you together when you were emailing back and forth about worldview issues. You too display excellence and perseverance in everything you do, from martial arts to excellence in playing flute to recently passing a rigorous physio course. I'm excited to watch the two of you spend the rest of your lives sharpening each other and learning together. You are a power couple. I believe that together you can change the world. Moving back to some stories about Ed. Another aspect of Ed's character was discovered early on by Mom and Dad. Our parents always thought that the best parenting method was just a good old encouraging pat on the back, as long as it was low enough and hard enough. And Ed demonstrated here the characteristic of perseverance. Most of the kids, we won't go into detail, but most of us need about 1 or 2 smacks before we would be at least outwardly repentant. But Ed required a minimum of 5. Perhaps the best example of his perseverance. After Ed took the SAT and applied for some universities in the States, he had the opportunity to go. He could have studied pretty much anywhere he wanted at very low cost. But he stayed here in South Africa. This is 4 years ago, for just a chance of marrying Taryn. And every time someone asked us, wait, why is Ed staying in South Africa? He would come up with all kinds of other reasons, but the conversation would always end up with, who's the girl? And at that point I realized this is not just a crush. Ed wants to marry this girl. And I was pretty convinced that he was going to. Perseverance matches well with Evan's courage. You've all heard him sing loudly in church. Antioch doesn't sound the same without Ev singing at the top of his lungs. I had the privilege of standing in front of Ev and Taryn during the singing today. Ev doesn't have any fear of man. He's not afraid to go against the flow. As a young boy, there were multiple times he would walk out of the house with a red t-shirt and orange shorts, or any number of things. He just couldn't care less what people thought about him.
Apple doesn't fall far.
So as the world declines into foolishness, Evan will happily find the right path, and he will follow it no matter what everybody else is doing. A wise man once said, and Uncle Robin quoted this earlier, choose your love and love your choice. Ed, you've portrayed extreme determination in pursuing your bride. You chose your love years ago when you decided to pursue Taryn, and now you get to love her for the rest of your life. Taryn, I think your sweet spirit and tender heart are a perfect fit for Evan's perseverance and courage. Together, the two of you will have the bravery to go the right direction and the care to bring others along with you. One final aspect of Ed's character that I want to touch on, and this is not just Ed's character, this is Christ in Ed, because an extremely driven, talented, intelligent man should not also be humble and thoughtful. A worldly man, those character qualities are not usually combined in a worldly man, but Christ has changed Evan's life. All of you know Evan's thoughtfulness. In our family, we've seen it. He makes handmade gifts and cards. He remembers little details about people's lives and finds the best ways to take care of them. And few of you may know that in the last 24 weeks, he's written a letter to Taryn every single weekday. Probably about 150 letters. That's a mixture of his thoughtfulness and perseverance. And artwork on every single one. And that's just incredible. Ed is also humble. He learned to submit his intellect to the Lord when he was saved. And that's when he changed from that cheeky little 4-year-old to the wonderful Christ-like servant that he is today. Ed, you've become a true Christ-like leader. You love truth and you seek it out with your brilliant mind. You have the courage and the conviction to do what's right no matter the cost. You've learned to use your talents for the good of others, not yourself. Now you finally claim the beautiful bride to whom you can dedicate all your many talents for the rest of your life. Taryn, you are the one and only helper that God prepared for Evan. You're a beautiful bride and a godly woman, and I'm excited to welcome you to the Cantrell family. Will you all raise your glasses with me? To the bride and groom, may he love like Christ, may she flourish under his leadership, and may their quiver be full.